Sorry about that. I'm thinking right now. Before the video starts, I just want to apologize that, I meant to get this video out sooner. This was originally supposed to be a 6 months later review. It's about to be 8 months actually at the time of this recording. So yeah, I'm not even joking. I think I'm like 3 days off from these headphones being like 8 months old. All right, I'm gonna call it an 8 month review because I guess it's close because it's pretty damn close to pretty much call it. So yeah, but yeah, to not get this video confused with the newer headphones that Bose just released, it's not. I guess it's the kind of strangest time to be uploading this video, but Bose came out with the Bose QC Gen 2 for the regular Quiet Comforts, like the Quiet Comfort 2023s. Yeah, those ones now have a successor, the second gen for those headphones now. Alright, but yeah, to not get that mixed up with this video, these are strictly going to be about the Ultras. Alright, this is the second gen QC Ultra, and this is the first gen QC Ultra. So yeah, I'm just going to be comparing those headphones. Alright, side by side in this video, and yeah, it's also going to be a mostly opinionated review because I don't exactly got the technology to do the super technical reviews, like with the binaural microphones where the audience can hear the difference between the ANC performance and the sound quality. Yeah, I sadly don't got that. All right, maybe if you like and subscribe, I can do better headphone reviews with those. So yeah, just saying. Let's actually get into this video. So starting off, these are the QC Ultra Gen 2s, alright? And they retail for $449, which is a $20 increase over what the Gen 1s used to retail for. Pretty much the $450 price tag. That kind of puts it square in the premium ANC headphone tier. I mean, the competition's around the same price. Like the Sony's cost I want to say $10 more, and like the Bowers and Wilkins PX7S3s, same price tag. The AirPods Max, on the other hand, like the newer AirPods Max that are out right now, those are even more expensive. But yeah, you get the idea. That's gonna be the little typical price, I guess, for premium ANC headphones like these. As you can see, the build quality between the two, not build quality, but you see the shape, the geometry between both headphones. It's literally the same, pretty much. So yeah, that also leads me to talk about the comfort, here as well. The comfort between both of them is, again, amazing. No complaints. The only noticeable difference you'll see between both headphones is, aside from the colors, second gen has this chrome finish on the extendable arms. I don't know if you can tell. It's also on the logo. Like the logo has like the shiny finish as well as the arms. While first gen, the extendable arms are like this aluminum matte finish. Sadly, the logo is not also a matte finish. I mean, that would be very premium. No, it's just more of a like a glossy kind of logo. I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, they do come in different colors. Like they do come in your regular black and white, but they also have driftwood sand, which is the color here. Midnight violet and desert gold, which low-key, I almost wanted to get these headphones in the desert gold because it's like a black and gold color, which looks super cool, but I kind of went with the driftwood sand color here. Alright, because I kind of thought it would be the closest to the sandstone color in Gen 1s. So, yeah. But let's talk about the features with these headphones, alright? The features with both headphones is pretty much for the most part the same. Like both headphones have most of the same features. Gen 2 has like three notable well, technically I'll probably include four, but pretty much I'm gonna go over the four new things that second gen has over Gen 1. So the first one, the most notable one, is USB-C audio. Alright, arguably hands down the best feature on these headphones. The reason why I like the USB-C audio feature a lot is not only can you get lossless audio through a USB-C connection, like if you just get a USB-C cable, alright, and were to plug it into the headphones and the other end into your device, like your phone or laptop or whatever, you can get lossless audio, alright, through that connection. But that's not it, alright. It will actually charge the headphones while you're listening to music. And you can actually use the headphones like they're wireless, but with a wired connection. And what I'm basically trying to say is, like, you can use the headphones with full noise cancellation, even with the USB-C connection. So yeah, and it will, again, recharge the headphones. There are two catches though. One, you do need some battery life. Basically, like, your headphones can't be fully dead because you do have to turn the headphones on in order for it to work. And with the USB-C connection, it will drain your device's battery life. Like, for example, when I have it connected to my phone, it definitely drains the battery life pretty quickly. So yeah, but again, I still think it's a very helpful and worthy feature. All right, that I think pretty much all headphones now should have it. Oh, you have the ability to turn off the ANC. I know that doesn't sound like much, but yes, you can finally turn off the ANC on the second gen. It took Bose way too long to finally release that feature to, turn off the noise cancellation on a headphone. It sounds basic, but trust me, like, the QC45s didn't have the ability to. The the Quiet Comfort 2023 model also didn't have that feature. The Gen 1s don't have that feature. You can't turn off the noise cancellation on either three of those headphones, and I actually don't know if you can for the NC700s. I think you can. I actually don't know, but again, it took Bose way too long. Alright, and they could easily implement that feature like through a firmware update. It would not be that hard at all. But again, here you finally have the ability to turn off the ANC. Alright, and the reason why this is like an important thing to have is, say for example, there's like a day where you forgot to charge your headphones, alright, and you're trying to extend the battery life to the end of the day. Alright, I forgot my microphone's right here. Let me try to talk closer to it. But say you went a day without charging your headphones. Right? You simply forgot to. All right, and you're trying to extend battery life to the end of the day. All right, turning off the noise cancellation is like the best way to extend the headphones battery life. All right, like it will definitely make a noticeable increase in like battery life. And I've been there. All right, a couple times. Like, I remember, like, there's been days when I went on campus and I forgot to charge my headphones, so I was like, ugh, gonna have to turn off the ANC for a little bit so I can get to the end of the day, because I'd rather just have the headphones block out noise naturally, alright, versus having, like, the headphones be completely dead, because at least I can drown people out with music on. So, yeah. That's why it's important to have it there. And yeah, and also, sometimes you may just want just no noise cancellation or transparency mode. Like, sometimes you just want the headphones to just block out what they can naturally block out. Alright? And it also actually affects the music quality, which I will get into in the sound quality section. But yeah, again, that's why it's important to have that feature. And also the two other features, so both headphones have immersive audio, but the second gen headphones have a new immersive audio like mode, which is called cinema mode, and basically it's this like custom EQ tuned like thing for movies. I don't really use that at all because I don't really listen to movies on my headphones, and I think I've tried it with listening to music, and it's definitely not intended for music, I'll probably say. So yeah, I just kind of leave that feature off. I leave it off for the most part. So yeah, and also one last notable feature is the headphones have adaptive ANC. And what I mean by adaptive ANC, they have like ANC that's pretty much just like the Sony XM5s. Alright, basically the headphones ANC level or performance will basically adjust to based on your environment. So even if you raise the like the slider thing in the app to like full noise cancellation, the headphones will only they won't actually perform at their fullest peak performance, which I know sounds like a bad thing, but it's not bad. Like, I'll get more into it in the ANC section. But pretty much everything else is the same. Like, if let me open up the app. You can still create ANC modes, like with both headphones. Both headphones have a EQ right here. Alright, you can see I already EQ'd them. But yeah, with just those four basic presets on both headphones. And, yeah. Both headphones also have multi-point Bluetooth. They use different Bluetooths. I want to say second gen, you can feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty certain second gen uses Bluetooth 5.4, while Gen 1 uses 5.3. You know what? Let me actually verify that. Okay, I was right with the Bluetooth thing. I looked it up real quick. Alright, now to talk about the most like highlighted feature, actually, the true highlighted feature with these headphones, the noise cancellation. The noise cancellation performance between both headphones. And so right off the bat, I'm still gonna say that these are like two of like the absolute best. Ooh, have the absolute best noise cancellation you can get. It may not be number one, but again, it's pretty damn good. When I was A/B testing the two, like literally, I was doing this. I put the first pair on, take them off, and then put the other pair on. And yeah, literally, I compared the ANC just like that. And I have a fan running like above above the webcam right there. I'm really hoping it's not capturing it. It's pretty quiet of a fan, so it shouldn't be much of an issue. The difference is pretty damn subtle. Like again, you wouldn't notice the difference unless if you were doing what I just did. Compare the headphones side by side, put one pair on, take them off, and then put the other pair on. So, but I will say there is an improvement on Gen 2. There is an improvement. And is it like an improvement that you could justify an upgrade? I'd definitely say not. But let me how would I describe it? Why I basically say the Gen 2 is better is because my fan has like a motor hum noise to it, because I don't know, Lasco fans just have this motor hum to it, and I found the fan to be overall quieter on the second gen. Alright, it was just more consistently blocked out. Like the higher pitch, motor noise, it was quieter on these versus my Gen 1 headphones. The Gen 2s are like a bit more, consistent with blocking out the noise, like, across like, the wide, frequency range and stuff like that. So, yeah. I that's why I would say the ANC is better on these over Gen 1s, but again, the difference is not that noticeable unless if you were comparing the headphones side by side. So, yeah, and and both headphones do also have 10 adjustment settings in the app. I don't know if I mentioned that or not, but yeah, both headphones have 10 settings for the ANC. I couldn't remember the name of it. But yeah, Active Sense. Basically, what Active Sense does is, ooh, let me show the audience. All right. Basically, what Active Sense does is when you have the headphones in aware mode, basically it'll monitor your like the noise of your environment, and like say a noisy car is passing by, it'll kick up the ANC like automatically for you. It'll like basically adjust the ANC upwards, and basically once your environment goes back to being quiet, or like a quiet environment, it'll tone the ANC down back to like full awareness mode. Yeah, it basically will fluctuate the different ANC performance based on your environment. That's just simply it. When it comes to the sound quality, again, it's kind of the same story. You won't notice it unless if you're comparing headphones side by side. You won't notice the difference. But there is an improvement, I will say. Alright, there is an improvement. And I did talk about the USB-C audio feature. And basically, like, this is more so with the comparison of just both headphones wireless on AAC codec. Alright, both headphones have AAC and aptX. They support one of the aptX codecs, I know. But basically, since I have an iPhone, it's AAC, and when I was comparing both headphones side by side, with wireless listening, I'd say the second gen is. I found the soundstage to be like a little bit wider, and also just the instruments and stuff like that. Just those like small details in like songs to be a little bit more just slightly more present, and just the overall like mix just to like a little bit cleaner. All right. So yeah, it basically would sound like an upgrade over Gen 1's, but again, I don't know if I could really call it an upgrade, fully like that, because it's like the difference is very, very small, and again, isn't noticeable unless you're comparing them side by side. With the USB-C connection with the headphones, and which I don't really notice much of an improvement, because I mean, also I'm not an audiophile. Like maybe if I was an audiophile, then I would notice more of like the difference with the USB-C connection, which has lossless it supports lossless audio. And yeah, I will say the most noticeable thing when you use the headphones with the USB-C connection, you definitely will get a volume increase. So if for whatever reason, you don't find the second gen headphones to be loud enough, you can use it with the USB-C connection to get more volume. So yeah, I don't really exactly recommend that. Since there also is a sound quality like difference when you turn off the ANC, like I mentioned probably earlier. I'd say like the most noticeable thing what you'll notice is when you turn off the ANC on these headphones, you will get like a noticeable reduction in bass. So if you're a bass head, I'm warning y'all right now. All right, if you turn off the ANC, your bass the bass will get weaker on these headphones. I'm not a bass head, so I don't really mind it. You can always still EQ the headphones as well, like, to raise the bass, but of course, there will be less bass than when, like you have the headphones on in like ANC mode or aware mode. At least one of the good things is when, when you turn off the ANC and, you do get the reduction in bass. I do find like, the maybe treble and like mid range to be a little bit more presence, I would say, or maybe just like just vocals and just those tiny little details in songs to be just a little bit more noticeable, basically, because since that there's less bass, those other frequencies are a little bit more noticeable. Also, with the immersive audio feature with both of these headphones, I couldn't really sorry I couldn't really notice a difference between the two, like in terms of performance, and like even like actually like comparing them back to back, like I couldn't hear it, a difference with the immersive audio aside from the cinema mode, of course. But wait, we're not done yet. So I kind of had a pre-recording of this already, but I was gonna show you guys the microphone comparison between both headphones, which is actually a very noticeable improvement on the second gen, and I will show you guys with like the clips that I have. This is like a pre-recorded thing I made. Like I was working on this for the 6 month review I was supposed to make, but I didn't. So yeah, that's why I may look a little different. So yeah. Okay, this is Gen 2's quiet noise test. Right, no noise going on right now. I actually want to show you guys something real quick. I can do a way better noise test now because I have an industrial fan in my room. All right, look at that right there. So yeah, oh, ignore the messy room. Oh my, why did I show you guys that? Do not ask why I have an industrial fan in my room. That's something else for a different video. Like yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and connect Gen 1s now. Okay, I now finally have Gen 1s on, which by the way, I forgot to mention, when you turn off the headphones, when you turn off the headphones, they make like a sound effect, like, indicating you just turned off the headphones. Yeah, the sound effect is now different, after the firmware update the Gen 2s had. But yeah, again, this is a quiet environment. This is just showing how the headphones would sound if you were like in your own home, just talking to someone, like on FaceTime, for example. So, yeah. All right, let's go ahead and get this noise test in. Okay, I have the industrial fan on. I don't know if you can tell, but it's definitely on because my hair and the my LED lights are flapping around right now. So yeah, I have the fan on like on the max speed. It is very loud. So yeah. Again, this is the headphones in a noisy environment. So like if I was out in public at the gym, something like that, this is how my voice would sound. So yeah, now I'm gonna connect Gen 1. Okay, this is now. Hold up. No, yep, this is. I have a Gen 1. All right. Again, same thing as before. Have the industrial fan on the max speed. This is what my voice would sound like in a noisy environment. Like if I was at the gym with these on instead of Gen 2. This is what my voice would sound like. All right. Again, this is a voice test with Gen 1. So yeah, hold up. The fan's oscillating, so let me talk again while it's facing me. I have the fan facing me. There's a lot of wind blowing, which I probably should have done that with Gen 2, but there was definitely some fantastic for Gen 2. So yeah, again, this is Gen 1. So yeah. Oh yeah, and by the way, just to show y'all I'm not lying, that it's loud in here with the fan on, this is what it sounds like on the highest speed. Yeah, pretty noisy. So yeah. Okay, so after like hearing those comparisons, the microphones you should definitely hear like an improvement on the second gen. So yeah, good to know that. You know, I'm on FaceTime along with my friend, and you know, I'll be wearing my headphones, like, you know, a lot. And for the, you know, the final section, I want to talk about the pros and cons with the second gen headphones, and you know, because they're not perfect. All right, there's definitely, you know, some complaints I have, like, you know, with them, and Bose is very capable of fixing these. By the way, with the pros, all right, definitely the USB-C audio. The improved ANC and sound quality. All right, even though they're really small improvements, they're still improvements. All right, they have a better, not or better, a newer Bluetooth version. All right, Bluetooth 5.4 over 5.3, which is what Gen 1 has. Let me also add as the last one, the comfort. All right, comfort's pretty much just as good. All right, I can wear these headphones for hours on end, which I have. I've literally worn both headphones for multiple hours, like a day. I also happen to have, like, you know, misophonia, so definitely, you know, those headphones are fantastic. Literally keep my sanity in check. Now for the cons. Definitely the first one is going to be about the EQ. Alright, I don't know why we're still using a 3-band EQ. Like, it's definitely better than the 2-band EQ than my Bose and Wilkins, like, you know, PX7S2Es have. Alright, but, the newer version for these ones, the PX7S3s, those ones actually have a 5-band EQ now. So like Bose and Wilkins have got with it. Alright, and same with the newer PX8s. Alright, I don't know why Bose we're still in the past and you know we're using 3-band EQs. Like Sony is using more advanced EQs. They have like a 10-band EQ. Sennheiser's, I think the new Momentum 5s have like a, you know, a very customizable EQ. So yeah, Bose needs to get with it. Some of the other complaints that I have is this is also, I noticed, like a Sony feature. This is a feature Sony has because I actually found out like the XM6. I want to say they have like a feature to where you can either make the headphones use adaptive ANC or just the static ANC, like pretty much like the Gen 1s use. That would be nice if Bose had that. Like, you know, it'd be nice to give, you know, the user some configuration on, you know, whether they want static ANC or adaptive ANC, because both ANC modes do have, like, you know, advantages over each other. What my point is, it would be nice if Bose, like, you know, had a feature like that to change the ANC mode. Alright, specifically with, like, you know, static ANC or adaptive ANC. Also, one more con that I kind of have is, even though this is more of like a cosmetic thing, you could basically say, actually no, there's two more cons I have. Since they had a firmware update sometime in like February, they updated like the voice prompt or like the voice tone thing. It uses like a more modern AI kind of one, and I don't know. It's like some people may like it because, you know, it's more modernized and it's not super like robotic sounding like the old one they used for the longest. But I don't know, I kind of missed that one. So, you know, it'd also be nice if they had a feature in like the settings app, which I actually have right now. Oh my gosh, why do I keep showing the laptop here? Yeah, I have the settings open right now, and it'd be nice if they, you know, have like that kind of setting to, you know, change the voice tones. Also a very popular complaint that, you know, people had online everywhere, since they had that firmware update. Yeah, for some reason Bose silently removed this shortcut. Basically, what shortcuts are is when you hold down the volume strip on like the headphones. Can I show? Yeah, the volume strip right here. I'm trying to make sure I touch it. Yeah, basically it's touch sensitive. You swipe up or down to adjust the volume. All right, it's just like with Gen 1. But both Gen 1 and Gen 2 have this feature. If you hold down on it, all right, which this is customized in the app. All right, they're called shortcuts for that. When you hold down on it, you can do one of these, well, now 3 things. There used to be one of 4 things, and you know, one of the options used to be you used to be able to hear like a battery life. Like it would, like the voice tone thing will tell you your battery life if you held down on it. All right, I don't know why Bose silently removed it, and there has been a lot of, you know, like complaints on it online, like definitely on Reddit. And yeah, I hope they bring it back. I don't know who's making these decisions at Bose. Other than that, that's pretty much it. I went over 5 pros and 5 cons. I'd say that's fair. Wouldn't you say so? For the question of should you upgrade if you have Gen 1s, should you upgrade to Gen 2s? I'd probably say no, not really. Maybe the most noticeable features that would make it a worthy upgrade is you want USB-C audio, you want the ability to turn off the ANC, and you want slightly improved ANC and sound quality, and that's about it. Those are like the four things. Like that's about it. Oh, also if you want the cinema mode, like if you are someone who listens to movies, uh, on headphones, there are those five features that would make the Gen 2 a worthy upgrade maybe. But for the most part, I probably would say for like the average person, probably not. But pretty much what I will say though with Gen 1, since they've been kind of phased out, you can get them for like really good prices. Like I think like if you look around carefully, like I think I've seen some that are like, now granted they are refurbished, but I've seen them go as like low as like $200 or something like that. Like pretty much being half the price of the sales price on these. That's pretty good. Hopefully, Bose fixes some of the complaints I had, and yeah. And if you also have any questions, feel free to drop them down in the comment section. I'll do my best to answer them. Since this is my first ever tech review, kind of on like a tech product, you can also feel free to let me know how I did in the comment section. But other than that, make sure you guys hump the like button and subscribe button. Alright, I'm going to be heading out here, and I'm probably going to try to get this video out today as well. I will see you guys then. Goodbye!